We'll be live for day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft tonight, right here on Seattle Seahawks Today, as we will be breaking down every pick Seattle makes in the second and third round, and we're going to have a great time doing it. So stop whatever you have planned this evening and make a point to be here with us tonight for day number 2. Our coverage begins at around 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you then. Subscribe now for free. I need at least 20 subs off today's video to subscribe and join us tonight. We'll see you coming up here on Seahawks Today. Glad to have you with us, Tyler Jones. It has been just a few hours since we were here with y'all, and we are back at it again as we look ahead to day number 2. In day 1, the Seattle Seahawks took Grey Zabel with their first-round pick at 18th overall, and now they have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 total selections in the second and third round of the draft. That is a total of 5 picks in the top 100. What we're going to do on today's show is I've run through the mock draft simulator, and I've made selections for Seattle with their 4 picks tonight. I'll go over those 4 players, and we'll give you scouting reports and see who ends up in Seattle when it's all said and done. In case you missed it last night, let's go over what exactly happened in the first round of the draft. Cam Ward, the quarterback from Miami, he went to the Tennessee Titans at number 1 overall as expected, but then things got crazy after that, as Travis Hunter from Colorado was taken with the number 2 pick, with the Jags trading with the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns got quite the haul in that deal. While Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State, went to the Giants at 3. Campbell, the offensive tackle from LSU, went to the Patriots at 4. We expected those 4 players to be selected in those first 4 picks, and then things got interesting. Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan, went to the Browns at 5. Ashton Jeanty, running back from Boise State, went to the Raiders at 6. Armand Mimbo, the offensive tackle from Mizzou, went to the Jets at 7. Tedero McMillan, who the Seahawks were very high on, he was already off the board by 8 to the Carolina Panthers. And then Kelvin Banks went to the New Orleans Saints with the number 9 pick, the guard out of Texas. Well, Colson Loveland, tight end from Michigan, went to the Bears at 10. Mikael Williams, the edge rusher from Georgia, went to the Niners at 11. And this was a surprise. Tyler Booker, guard from Alabama, went to the Cowboys at 12. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan, went to the Dolphins at 13. Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State, went to the Colts at 14. Jalen Walker, edge rusher from Georgia, went to the Falcons at 15. Walter Nolan off the board at 16. The defensive tackle from Ole Miss to the Cardinals. Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher from Texas A&M, went to the Bengals at 17. And then Seattle made their pick with Grey Zabel, the offensive lineman from North Dakota State, and he can play pretty much all 5 positions in the offensive line. The expectation is for this Seattle team, he'll likely play guard. While Emeka Ibuka, the wide receiver from Ohio State, he went to the Bucs at 19. Barron, the corner from Texas, went to the Broncos at 20. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon, went to the Steelers at 21. Amario Hampton, the running back from North Carolina, went to the Chargers at 22. Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, went to the Packers at 23. While Donovan Jackson, offensive tackle from Ohio State, went to Minnesota at 24. And then the Giants traded back into the first round with a second first-round pick selected on Jackson Dart, the quarterback from Ole Miss. James Pierce Jr., the edge rusher from Tennessee, went to the Falcons at 26, while the Ravens took Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia, at 27. Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, went to the Lions at 28. Josh Connerly Jr., the offensive tackle from Oregon, went to the Commanders at 29. Maxwell Harrison, the corner from Kentucky, went to the Bills at 30. Jahad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama, he went to the Eagles at 31 as the Eagles traded up 1 spot with the Chiefs, who then took Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle from Ohio State. So that leaves us to tonight, where there's plenty of players that we thought were first-round caliber players that are still available in the second round. Names that include Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback from Colorado, Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall, who most people thought was going to be picked in the top 15. And probably the biggest shocker of the night was Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, who almost every mock draft had going within the top 12. He did not get selected And so with that, there is plenty of options for Seattle with their 4 picks that they're going to have tonight. Now, will those guys still be available when Seattle picks? In all honesty, probably not. But there's still plenty of good options for Seattle to choose from that we'll show you here in just a bit. Who do you want the Seahawks to draft today? If you had to give me one name of these potential second and third round guys, who comes to mind that you would like to see Seattle pick up? You're on the clock. Weigh in our pin comment today and let us know. Let's start with the 50th overall pick for Seattle, and I'm going to have them select East Carolina corner Shavon Revel Jr. with the pick, and I'm a big fan of Revel. I know he got a little banged up there and missed most of 2024, but he was really good at East Carolina. Even in the small sample size, the few games he played before he got hurt this past season, he was on quite a tear. To begin the season with 2 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, and 8 tackles. He's got the size, frame, and speed to succeed as a classic outside corner, which would be great for Witherspoon holding things down to the nickel. Reek, of course, at the other opposite outside corner. And then you could have Josh Joe backing those guys up, and all of a sudden you could have some really good depth. Was playing really well before the ACL injury. Needs better bowl skills at the next level. But had he not had the injury, Revel, without a doubt, would have been a first-round pick in this year's draft. And you can see the statistics. In those 3 games, he was off the charts. He was looking fantastic, but then that ACL injury set him back and ended his season. I think this would be a very good find for Seattle potentially if they were to select him. Dane Brugler of The Athletic had this to say on Revel. His durability will be questioned, understandably, but Revel is a boundary bully with terrific speed, length, and ball tracking skills. He has the talent of an NFL starter. And some testing numbers, we didn't see him do any sprints, jumps, or agility tests. However, he's got some strength for a corner. He benched 12 total reps. So pretty good stuff there from Shavon Revel Jr. We'll get to the other 3 picks in a moment, but first let's ask you, should the Seahawks draft Shavon Revel Jr.? You got 2 options here. Type D for draft, P for pass. Your chance to be the GM, and let us know here on Seahawks Today who that pick is. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Recently got the chance to go to an NBA game with the family, and we saved big on our tickets. Got the tickets last minute, and with Game Time, the prices go down the closer it gets to when the event starts. And maybe you can't go to an NBA game and you want to go to something in Seattle, like maybe the Mariners, or you want to go see the Sounders, whatever it may be. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not. Then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. And with their low price enabled feature, you can invest more into buying food, drinks, merchandise, and more easily get a large group to come with you. Take that money you're saving on tickets and spend it elsewhere potentially. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Seahawks Today. Their last-minute deals can save you up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Game Time Picks makes last-minute ticket buying easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They have their zone deals where you can save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. They're all-in pricing. You toggle this feature, and it'll show the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They have their seat views. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price is guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with those flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Next up, let's go to pick 52. Just a couple picks later for the Hawks. And we're going to go wide receiver, and this is where we find Iowa State's Jaylen Null. I'm a big fan of Jaylen Null. Saw him play a lot at Iowa State, and that offense last year with him and Higgins together, first time in Iowa State history that they had 2 receivers go over 1,000 yards. He's a bit undersized. He's a speedy receiver who can pull away from DBs, but won't break a lot of tackles. Mostly a slot receiver, but has some reps on the outside and improved each season. I think that he can develop to be more of an outside receiver, and I would think that JSN now that he's clearly wide receiver number one, is probably going to play more on the outside too, potentially. Didn't offer a ton after the catch, but a reliable option. And his stats were really good. 119 targets. That tells me he finds ways to get open with 90 total catches, nearly 1,200 yards, and 15 yards a reception as well there for Jaylen Null. Dane Brugler writing this on Noel. Noel is a smarter target, but very quarterback friendly because of his confidence he has in his hands and makes athletic versatility, which makes him tough to cover. His scouting report and college tape give flashbacks to those of Christian Kirk when he was an NFL draft prospect. So what do you think about Jaylen Null? Should the Seahawks draft him? You got two options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in, let us know if you would draft Jaylen Null or not. Let's go to pick number 82 now, and this is where we get some help at the edge rusher spot. And we find Kyle Canard out of South Carolina. And I got to say, with Kyle Canard, this is somebody that was just off the charts in 2024. The SEC's Defensive Player of the Year, the Bronco Nagurski Trophy winner, quality burst bend. He finishes well. Contact balance issues and doesn't play up to his size and run support too often, but the production is clearly there. 11.5 sacks last season, along with 3 forced fumbles, 16 TFLs, 28 tackles, 39 pressures. Canard was fantastic there at South Carolina. And you think about this too. When it comes to Kyle Canard, this is somebody that I think would fit exactly what Mike McDonald is looking for. And you have some questions when it comes to edge rushers. There is a bit of a lack of depth right now. Well, if we're going to be real with ourselves, we can't trust Uchenna and Wosu to stay healthy, and you need some other options. I think Canard could be a nice fit there with Derek Hall and Boye Mafe and potentially establish a nice little young core there. Dane Brugler saying this on Canard. Kennard has work to do developing his counters and becoming more consistent on rundowns to reach his NFL potential, but he brings energetic speed off the edge when he can pin his ears back. He projects as a passing down specialist, and his role can evolve from there. Last pick for Seattle. Let's go to 92. This is where we find Jared Wilson, the center from Georgia, our second offensive line pick. And with Jared Wilson, I know some people right away are going to say, center, we got Olu here. Well, there's talk that he could potentially play guard at the next level. So there is some flexibility here when it comes to that, and at the very least could provide some competition for Olu at the center spot too. Impressive athlete with the quickness and hands to do plenty at the center position. Held up well in pass protection, needs more reps to eliminate the inexperience as a processor, did not allow a single sack, and his grades all across the board in nearly 1,000 snaps last year were really good. An overall grade of 79.6, a pass block grade of 84.9, and a run block grade of 76.0. Dane Brugler saying this on Jared Wilson. Wilson lacks premium size and is fundamentally rough around the edges, but he sports the body control, movement skills, and football IQ to lock down as a long-term starting center role. His game is reminiscent of Rodney Hudson's, and he should compete for immediate starting reps. So that's pretty good there when it comes to Jared Wilson. I think would be very good, and you'd be feeling a lot better about the offensive line situation if you're Seattle, if you add him to the mix and already adding in Grey Zabel as well. We'll be live coming up later on tonight for day number 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Our coverage beginning here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Subscribe now and make sure and join us tonight as we will react to each and every one of the Seattle Seahawks picks, and then we'll be back to do it all again tomorrow as well. Fun weekend ahead. You don't want to miss a moment right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. We'll see you later tonight right here on the channel. So long.